China Colston, also known as Chinese actress and indie filmmaker. So I wanted to share my experience. I convened with Michael Green yesterday. He is the producer and director of Shades of Truth Theater Company here in Harlem, New York. And I'm currently writing on my new short screenplay, Circle the Wagons. It's a political social film. My first political social film, actually. And he gave me some really constructive feedback. He posed questions and raised and made statements, assessments about the characters, and made sure that I fleshed them out, made sure there was dimension in the character, and the story was as strong as it could possibly be. He also thought that he also acknowledged some of the strengths of the story. He thought it was a strong foundation. It was very relevant to today. So shout out to Michael Green. He's a really dope director and playwright. He directed me in 3 productions. Black Wall Street last year, and this year Sweet Harlem Sweet, where I played Zora Neale Hurston, and then Women of Trilogy, where I portrayed Ida B. Wells and Harriet Tubman. So I trust his judgment artistically as a director, and he's written some of those pieces. He co-wrote Harriet Tubman play. So I trust him as a director and a writer, and his feedback was very, very advantageous to the growth, to the unfolding of Circle the Wagons. And I really appreciate him just raising questions that were in my head that I hadn't quite put on the paper yet, that weren't as clear as I hope they were. So I'm going to flesh those out. And then a shout out to Shoshone Lambert. She is an actress, a dope actress. She's a screenwriter and director herself. She and I did Black Wall Street last year. I called her and reread over my script so that I could make revisions to the dialogue if any need to be changed. And she liked the character, but she also was able to point out some areas that could be streamlined, again, to maximize the potential of a particular scene. So shout out to Shoshone Lambert. And then Jimmy Gary, who's going to actually be in the movie, and so is Shoshone. He gave me some very helpful tips to kind of get rid of the excess, the adornment, and just hold what was the meaty part, or the vegetables. That was really, really going to be the strength of the screenplay. So shout out to Jimmy Gary Jr. He's a writer, actor. He did Black Wall Street with me last year. Writer, actor, producer. So I've surrounded myself with people who I respect as artists and as people. They're really kind, good people, and they're all writers and actors themselves. So yeah, so if any of you are watching this and you have a play or a screenplay that you're writing, I would suggest, and this is your first time possibly, get feedback, constructive feedback from people who you respect as artists and that you like as a human being, and what I do is I generally write down the questions they pose, the statements, the assessments they make, the observations they make, the strengths and the weaknesses they list about the script, and then I determine what to keep and what not to keep. Because ultimately I have to make the final decision what I think is going to really serve the story. But all of them have very useful feedback that I will incorporate into the next revision. I'm excited to be working on this new polysocial film. I've always done films about romantic love, and this is the first film that I'll be producing that's not about romantic love. It deals with a sibling love, sibling rivalry, if you will. So, yeah, this is really, really exciting for me, and it's a new artistic challenge for me as well. So, I just wanted to share this and say that I'm really, really grateful and happy about how Circle the Wagons will unfold, and I have the challenge of writing the very last 2 scenes. And generally, the last scene for me is the easiest to write. The first scene and the last scene. The middle is usually the most taxing, but for some reason, it has to have such a punch. But it has to be soaked in truth. It can't just be like a shocker. It has to be like, no, this could really happen. This is a possibility. So anyway, that's what I wanted to share, and I hope you guys have a great weekend. Take care. Peace. Chinese.